How can I 29F get over the fact that I'm not my best friend's 30F best friend? In 2013, after an exceptionally bad breakup and graduating from college, I moved to a new city and basically started my life over. After a few weeks of subletting, I found a roommate on Craigslist named Casey, 30F, who I hit it off with immediately. I've always been more of a boyfriend girl, in that I was with my ex from 10th grade until college graduation, and he was basically my best friend, so Casey was my first real girl BFF. We lived together for 4 years until Casey moved in with her boyfriend Jason, 32M, and we had the best time. We almost never fought and spent all of our time at home together. We are both incidentally from the same home state, have a lot of similar interests and personalities, and complement each other in lots of ways. I get along super well with Jason too, and they never made me feel like a third wheel. I have a larger friend group now in New City and, thankfully, lots of girlfriends, but Casey is still my BFF and we talk, text constantly, hang out weekly, etc. The problem: Annie, 30F. Annie is Casey's best friend. They've been best friends since their early 20s and are kind of a package deal. Annie is very cool and smart and funny, and she and I are good friends too, and there's no competition between us or anything. She and I even hang out without Casey sometimes. I can't stress enough that we all get along and that this isn't like the movie Bridesmaids or anything. But sometimes I feel really sad that Casey is my best friend, but Annie is hers. Casey will refer to me as one of her best friends, but we all know that Annie is number one. If Casey ever says something like, "You're my favorite," to Jason, he laughs and says, "No, that's Annie." If Casey and Jason get married, Annie will be maid of honor. No question. Everyone kind of says Casey and Annie like they're one entity. They have very big and beautiful matching tattoos. Though Casey and I have matching tattoos too. But imagine it being something like a 1-inch potato because we're both from Idaho. Whereas Casey and Annie have gorgeous tattoos that cover most of their upper arm. I don't know how to get over this sadness. It feels really childish. Casey doesn't ever make me feel left out, and neither does Annie. I love them both, but I guess I'm just jealous that I'm not anyone's favorite in the same way. It feels extra childish of me because I have a boyfriend and I know I'm his favorite. But I guess I just never got to experience having a girl BFF who also considered me her BFF like that. How can I be satisfied with being almost the best and not the best? TLDR, my best friend, Casey, has her own best friend, Annie. How can I get over feeling like I'm second best? To quote the Mindy Project, best friend is not a person. It's a tier. I have friends going back to middle school who I would rate as best friends. But for all I know, many of them have other best friends. In fact, I know my cousin, who is among my best friends, will rate her childhood friend and her closest work friend among her other best friends. Now, I don't know how to shift your perspective to that direction, but I think it can be helpful to recognize you are one of her best friends. Just not the one and only. Because she clearly has more history with Annie. In the same way that my cousin's work friend can't ever have the same intimate connection due to history that me and cousin share. I can't share the connection they have because of their unique professional experiences in physical proximity. They live next door. I live in a different city. Our friendships are different but equal in a way. It may also help to cherish and think about your other close friendships. Maybe you will find some people who can join your tier. So I've been the Casey in my friendship for the last 12 years, and let me offer you some insight. My two best friends are never competing in my mind. One of them is from the same hometown and same cultural background and likes all the things half of my personality likes. The other one I met in New York, and our family lives, backgrounds, etc. couldn't be more different, but We have the best time together and she is constantly teaching me new things and likes all the things that the other part of my personality likes. They both consider me their best friend. They're both amazing, smart and incredible women, and while maybe if you asked my mom or my boyfriend who my best friend was, they would choose one of them simply because of time, but that is not how I view it. They're both my best friends and my soulmates. I would never choose a favorite, nor would I ever want it, because they bring equally important, but different things to my life. That was long, but point is, Casey loves you and I'm sure she loves Annie too, but not any more or any less. History has an impact on how other people viewed the relationship, but not on the actual relationship. Don't be sad and don't be jealous. It sounds like you're loved. Also, your tattoo may be smaller, but it's still a tattoo. And it might be smaller just because she already had a giant one on her shoulder, so she wanted to keep it down. I doubt it correlates to love. As I get older, my tattoos get smaller and less drastic. Every relationship is asymmetric, and there's something to learn here. Everybody is free to give as much as they want, but nobody has the obligation to give you as much as you want. You should love people for what they are, as long as they don't hurt you on purpose, not for what they give you. The good thing about friendships is that some of the social expectations placed on intimate, monogamous relationships don't apply in them. In that we can have and love multiple friends, without loving our other friends less. It's not like giving out slices of pie. Love for others doesn't affect how much love you get. Also, it seems like you and her are best friends. Full stop. I think you need to work on your own self-image and confidence in yourself, as not to rely on companionship, which you have through your bestie, boyfriend, and other friends, for validation. Your role in life is not to be someone's number one BFF. It's to be you. Edit. Spelling. 48-year-old woman here who has suffered from the same kind of insecurity about her female friends over the years. Here's what helped me. When Casey is with you, is she 100% with you? If the answer is yes, really look hard at what that means. When she is with you, she is with you. Now, she may be 100% with her other friend when they're together, but that's not about you at all. The bottom line is that Casey isn't any less your friend just because she's also close to other people. Casey isn't 40% your friend and 60% her friend. She is 100% your friend. You're still young, and you have many female friendships in your future. I beg you to reframe how you see these friendships. Ditch the words best friend from your vocabulary. That's middle and high school queen bee bullshit, and we need to leave it behind. My own jealousy caused me to lose a close friend who is 100% there for me, and I only have myself to blame. Edit. Typos. A lot of people are talking about best friends and the meaning in that and stuff, but I wanted to touch on something else. Friendships like the one you are describing are quite rare. Very few people are lucky enough to experience a bond like that in their lifetime. From what you've written, I think you have a healthy, normalized and well-controlled jealousy. How could one not? Connections are one of the few things we truly have as humans. And a friend that far back in your life who knows you, your life, all about you. It doesn't sound like you're upset at either of your friends. You sound to genuinely love and care for them. But that you're sad you don't have that kind of connection in your life as well. Casey is the focal point of this, because she is both your closest friend and the person who has a kind of relationship you don't. I think it's safe to say their relationship is different than yours. But I don't think it's bad at all or they love you less. You are just craving your own and I think that's very understandable. The only thing you can do is just let it be. Let it wash away, and be very happy for both of your friends that they have that relationship, and that you have them, too. I think what you are feeling is normal. and with understanding and earnestness, can be worked through via just letting go. I don't think there's anything you can do, as long as you can just accept it and enjoy your friendships with these women as they are. You don't really need to worry too much. Sometimes things aren't exactly as we like, but that doesn't make them bad. It's okay to feel a bit sad, but try not to compare your relationships too much. It will only hurt. You can't help how you feel, but you might find that if you change your behavior you will feel better about yourself. I used to have those kind of intense one-on-one friendships when I was younger. And I was never my BFF's best friend, so I just kind of stopped trying to put all my friendship eggs in one basket, if you will. I have friends that are closer than other friends, but I don't try to put anyone on a pedestal. This is exactly why I don't use the phrase best friend. It doesn't enrich anyone's lives to have a hierarchy of friends. It might help to focus on this question. Are you satisfied with your relationship with her, on its own, without comparing it to anyone else? This is such a destructive thing to focus on. I say that not to criticize but with the hopes that this cold water will wake you up. If any of you need anything, you'll all be there. If any of you are hurt, all of you will worry. You're going to enter your 30s worrying about who is who's best whatever. You literally have matching tattoos and you're worried about whose is bigger? These are the questions I'd want asked and the way I'd want them asked, because such observations have had a profound sobering effect on me in the past. I hope they help. If you are at a point where you feel pain about this, it's time to pull back. Friendships aren't about competition or rank. They are about laughs and support. I used to be sad about that for years. I have plenty of very good friends, but I'm nobody's best friend. But I'm not sad anymore. Who cares? What I care about is that when they do something fun, they call me to do it with them. When they're sad about something, they tell me about it. When they want to celebrate something, they invite me to celebrate with them. And vice versa. To be honest, that's what really counts. You're a great friend and she loves you. Why do you want to make a classification about who's first and who's second? Yes, the other friend will be the maid of honor, but you'll probably still get to be a bridesmaid. So you'll have all the fun, and won't have to organize anything, or just help out if the maid of honor asks. No stress. Less money to spend. Ideal. Loving others is about who they are and not at all about ourselves. I'm in the same position as you, but I'm entirely at peace with it. Of course, my best friend has other close friends. Her best friend in particular is someone she's known since high school. I'm so incredibly happy to see that she's cared for by many, because she truly deserves the world. She mentioned hanging out with her recently and how she was telling her best friend about something compassionate and considerate I had done, and I just think the world needs more like her in it. I won't be her maid of honor, but she'll be mine. I'll stand with her, but I'm honestly relieved to not be in charge of party things. That's her forte and her best friends as well. So it's really working out on best for everyone. We're so important to each other, and that's all that matters. I think a part of the problem is that, like you said, you are a boyfriend girl. You're used to thinking of relationships as having some kind of inherent exclusivity, and that's just not how best friendships are. I understand how you feel though. I immigrated to another country to be with my husband, and we have moved almost every 18 months since I got here. In each place I find that I connect with someone and think of them as my best friend, but it's because in this country I don't really know anyone besides my husband and in-laws. So it's a very low bar, and it always hurt to find out I wasn't someone else's best friend too. But at some point I came to accept that I can have a best friend without having to be their best friend. Especially now that I've been here a while and have several best friends in different areas. Sometimes you get more from a friendship than they get from it. And sometimes there are people who consider their best friends their longest friendship. And there's just no competing with that when you're new. It might help you to observe your friends and learn why they consider each other best friends. It sounds like it's just because they've been friends through big life shifts and upheaval. And there's no competing with that label. But it's also just a label. You can still have a deep and solid friendship. Maybe stop trying to quantify and measure relationships against each other and just enjoy the people around you. Just because she's possibly closer to someone else doesn't mean you can't have a meaningful, close, and special friendship. Does the label really matter at the end of the day? Okay, so, your feelings are valid and totally understandable. But please don't think this woman doesn't value you. She got matching tattoos with you. And you don't do that with just anyone. I'm a boyfriend girl too. I know what you mean by that. Breakups are the worst because you really have nobody to vent to about it. Your best friend was the one who broke up with you. Try to separate relationship from friendship in your mind. You get really attached and invested in your boyfriend because you share very intimate moments together consistently. Bathroom habits, changing clothes, sex, crying, very personal, bond-forming activities that demand a certain level of love to even be shared. Your boyfriend is your boyfriend first, and friend second. You friends, however, are just that. If you weren't your boyfriend's number one pick, it would be really upsetting because he's contractually obligated to think that your friends love you, but they're not in love with you. I basically have one boyfriend at a time, and if I get lucky, a few of his friends will like me and I'll talk to them for a while. I know what you mean by all of this. The only way I can think to phrase it is to say just remember that you're not dating Casey. She's not replacing you or even shuffling your deck. She just doesn't have the same attachment that you and a boyfriend ever will, and it's a weird, different feeling. About to get downvoted to hell. But this is not something a person your age should focus on. Be thankful and grateful for your friends instead of playing a ranking game. Remember what Mr. Peng said to Po's bio dad in Kung Fu Panda 3. After he struggled to overcome his jealousy, I realized having you in his life doesn't mean less for me, but more for Po. Be happy that your friend has other friends, and realize that it doesn't change your relationship with her in any way. You're still amazing friends.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.